So we get set for the start of round number 3. Duvergal and Mosley come to the center of the ring. You get another look at that interesting little camera angle. Good work by producer Frank Belmont. And Duvergal continues to use his strength in that left hand.
And a bit of elusiveness here, and takes on the look of a textbook boxer, showing a different approach every round. And just when Mosley thought he had it figured out as to which style, and Duvergal goes into something else.
And you hear the referee ask for a break.
He's getting it quickly, too. He doesn't have to come in and separate the fighter. Mosley here has got to remain composed and force some mistakes by Duvergal, which he's been unable to do so far.
The United States have several very talented boxers in this weight class. Vernon Forrest, Steve Johnson, Hector Colon as well, in this 139-pound weight class.
And they'll all take turns fighting internationally, at home, anything to get that experience and to really be in good shape when the bell rings for the Olympics. The whole point of this competition for them.
This round is kind of slowed down a little bit here in round number 3. Just under 30 seconds to go in this third round. Good left hand. Scores by Duvergal, and he knocks back Mosley with a right as well.
Duvergal over the top a lot with his right hand so far here. One thing Mosley's been able to do is duck underneath and miss being hit by that right hand shot.
So round number 3 is in the books as Mosley and Duvergal head back to their corners. Back with more after this time, rather than fight back in the United States for the United States Championships. And it's a good move on his part as we start round number 4. Now Duvergal is sent back to his corner. And we'll stop the clock here for a second.
When you do travel overseas, you get that idea of what it's like to be in an international event and the differences in the countries, the customs, everything that's different from back home. It's a good thing to learn.
So we reset and start round number 4 all over again. The referee wanted the fighters to towel off a little bit. A little excess water in the ring and on the fighters, and a chopping right hand by Duvergal just missed the mark.
Quick little inside move there by Mosley. Nice seeing him putting his head down and trying to get inside. This is the way he would like to fight, the way he has to fight.
And Duvergal being warned there.
And what he's doing is, by throwing off the shoulder and keeping Mosley from getting into punching range, he's defeating what Mosley did to get inside, and he's not doing it according to the rules.
Mosley pushing forward there, backing up Duvergal a little bit. Now Mosley being warned for holding and hitting, but nice little sequence there for Mr. Mosley.
He's trying something different to get inside, showing that he can adjust during the course of a bout and try to force mistakes. He's thinking out there, which is nice to see.
Well, Duvergal goes to the body, then he hits on the break, but I tell you what, it looks like Mosley has gotten Duvergal a little bit mad, and that appears to be a little bit dangerous because he can put some speed on those punches. Talking about Duvergal.
Yeah, he has gotten Duvergal mad, and he has to, though, because he's got to upset the previous rhythm of the fight where he was on the outside just taking the jab. And Mosley's got to make something happen inside, and to his credit, he's really trying to do that here in the 4th.
Well, we have about 10 seconds to go in this 4th round, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds. Good combination there by Duvergal. And round number 4 is in the books as Shane Mosley heads back to his corner. And Candelario Duvergal back to his, and he will use the seat here in Bangkok, Thailand. Glad you can join us on Sports Channel America. Shane Mosley getting a chance to go against the world champion. And
it's been a tough outing for him so far, but In the fourth round, he was able to get closer and frustrate Duvergal a little bit and make the champion resort to some other tactics. A brainy kind of a round there.
Dave, how do you think the United States team will look a year from now for the Olympic Games?
Well, they always do round out and become stronger in the final year of competition, and you only hope that the politics can be kept out of it and that they can go against the Cuban team and the Soviet team in the Olympics.
Should be very interesting to see what happens in the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona, Spain. Got a lot of work to do in Barcelona to get ready for those games. I'm sure they'll be ready. We start round number 5, this fifth and final round. Candelario Duvergal in the red out of Cuba. He is the reigning world champion in this 139-pound weight class. Shane Mosley of the United States trying his hardest. And Dave, how do you see it scored through the first 4?
Very lopsided here in the favor of Duvergal. And he's been poised and not let anything bother him. And I don't think Mosley can win this thing on points, but he's learning a lot here in this 5th round. Now, Duvergal just looks like somebody who's been there so many times and doing this on instinct. Doesn't have to plot a strategy. These ideas are just coming to him in here, and he just reacts to everything. Doesn't have to think about it, whereas Mosley is kind of pouring his way and trying to feel his way through this bout.
Yeah, very instinctive is Duvergal, and that just comes with the experience, I guess. Mosley fires off a combination. Remember, Mosley's only 19 years of age, so his future is ahead of him if he elects to stay in the amateur game.
And he's showing a lot by trying to force mistakes here on Duvergal. You know, a lot of times a fighter can go up against the world champion, be psyched out, and never get into his game. It was hard for Mosley early in this fight, but he settled in and tried to do something different, and he's extending himself here and growing in the process.
Final 30 seconds of the fight. Candelario Duvergal in the red from Cuba, the reigning world champion. And Shane Mosley of the United States in the blue, the 19-year-old from Pomona, California, giving it his all against the reigning champion in this 139-pound weight class. But it won't be enough.
He's gotten braver as he's gotten along. And Mosley's confidence has increased throughout the course of this fight.
Right hand by Mosley. And then Duvergal comes right back. And that is it. The double bell sounds, and this one is over. And I tell you what, a pretty good effort from Shane Mosley of the United States, although he really doesn't have a prayer to win against the reigning world champion, Candelario Duvergal.
Mosley kicked it into gear in the final 3 rounds and stripped away the aura of the world title that Duvergal brought into here and fought on pretty good terms in the 4th and 5th rounds.
Well, learning experience for the young man. Shane Mosley began boxing several years ago, used to run cross-country in high school.
Hey, fine attributes if you want to be a boxer. Get that endurance going, the stamina.
How come you don't box? Dave, you're quite a runner.
Yeah, well, I just saw the handwriting on the wall there. I wanted to announce.
Well, both fighters head to the second of the ring. We wait for the formality of who is the winner. Red corner goes to Candelario Duvergal of Cuba. He wins an easy decision over Shane Mosley, the reigning world champion in the 139-pound weight class. Gets the victory. We'll be back with more after this timeout right here on Sports Channel